Advancement opportunity is one of the biggest reasons we get people to take that next step into our commission-based door-to-door sales opportunity. And it's important for you to understand exactly what opportunities exist. Now, there's multiple ways to do this, but the way that we set this up for our clients is we provide for them an 8-step group interview script and an 8-step PowerPoint that aligns with that script. At a high level, that 8-step process is first the pre-frame and the introduction. That is just introducing candidates to this process, why they're there in the presentation, what they're going to learn, what next steps will be if they're interested in the opportunity, and just really setting the tone for the presentation. Now, what's incredibly important about these 3 steps in the process is as you're explaining these things, candidates need to be drawn in and understanding that this opportunity, this presentation, your company, from a culture, industry, and organizational perspective, is incredibly unique compared to other opportunities that they've heard about. Your goal is to help them understand that your culture, your industry, your company story and plans for the future is more exciting than any opportunity that they've seen and that they will see. I've talked about the culture, the industry, the company story, the plans for growth in the future, and all of a sudden candidates are in the group interview presentation and they're like, wow, this sounds really cool. Now, steps 5 and 6 is where you start to get into the unsexy aspects of your opportunity. This for you is the commission-based aspect of your opportunity, how they're self-generating leads on the doors, how maybe they're not going to make money for 30 to 90 days if you're in something like home improvement sales. This is ultimately where that information starts to come. And that's why the first half of the presentation is so important. They need to be bought into the opportunity, the culture, the industry, your company, before you start to present these unsexy aspects of your opportunities, so it's not really a big deal by them. Again, step 6 is called the sacrifice, and this is really just educating the group interview candidates on what it looks like to see true success in their life and helping them understand that there's a sacrifice regardless of what career path they go down, whether they want to be a doctor and go to school for 10 years to make 6 figures, and how that's a time and financial sacrifice, or if they want to go down the route of being a low salaried worker and just barely paying their bills like the average US citizen, and how that's a sacrifice of probably being miserable and being broke and working till they die. And bringing them into the sacrifice of what it looks like to ramp up into your position, which is maybe going through the learning curve of door-to-door sales and going through that initial ramp-up period over 90 days, maybe like in a roofing or solar sales position. In most cases, in a door-to-door sales opportunity, the sacrifice is going to be in those initial phases of learning the door-to-door sales gig and ramping up to a good income. In steps 5 and 6, we've presented the unsexy aspects of our opportunity, but set the tone of really what it looks like. And then we lead into step 7, which is all about the career path, so that they know once they get through that sacrifice and they're crushing it in the sales position that there's other opportunities in your business. Advancement opportunity is one of the biggest reasons we get people to take that next step into our commission-based door-to-door sales opportunity. And it's important for you to understand exactly what opportunities exist.